Go ahead and take their seats. We'll get things. I don't know why anybody didn't list at the front. You know about the road? Guys, I'm Will, president of the Maury Chamber and the Alliance, and on behalf of our membership, our circle sponsors, and the business community at large, it's my pleasure to welcome you to our 2024 City Council, Columbus City Council candidate forum. One of our key priorities as an organization is to impact our community in a meaningful way by informing our stakeholders of local and state election opportunities. While it's very easy to get the news and information on the national elections, oftentimes it can be very difficult to stay up to date on what's going on in the local elections. And this is very important. Decisions that are made on the local level. Columbia City Council. To aid in this, we're happy to be live streaming this event with our partners at Main Street Maury. This will be available on their Facebook page and also on our website following the event. And before we begin, I do want to just go over some of the housekeeping on how tonight will work. This will be a general forum format where each candidate will have 5 minutes to provide their best pitch as to why they are the ideal candidate to serve each district. In addition to that, each candidate will then have the opportunity to answer one question which was randomly selected prior to them coming on the stage, which I will ask. They will then have 2 minutes to answer that question. Regarding the candidates that are with us tonight, we have 6 of the 9 candidates. I do want to note that we were informed this morning via email that Christian Lenar's candidate for Ward 3 will no longer be continuing his campaign. So we did have 10, but we now have 9 candidates. We also have copies of our candidate guide that are available for you to review online. You should have received a card walking in with a QR code to download that. And you can also access this by visiting our website, MauryAlliance.com, and searching for candidate guide. When the candidates are up here, we do ask that they remain respectful of each other and that the audience remains respectful of the candidates. Following the forum format, we will have additional time for you all, the candidates, to interact with the audience one-on-one. So at this time, I will move forward and call up our first candidate, Michael Kuzawinski with Ward 1. Again, Mike, you'll have 5 minutes to give your pitch. We do have a paddle here that will notify you when you have 1 minute remaining, and then we will ask the designated question following that.
Sounds great. All right. First of all, thank you all for showing up. My name is Mike Kuzawinski. I am running for City Councilman in Ward 1. Glad to see everybody who was able to make it out here tonight. This is exactly what our city needs is in local politics, is people coming out and showing an interest. So I do want to thank you for that. I've lived in Columbia for about 30 years, 32 years now. Father, son, husband, and a grandfather now. And decided to go ahead and get back into politics. I was a commissioner for a short time, and then got out of it for a little bit because we moved out of district. And just watching the way things are going in the city, talking to a few different people, they said, "Hey, Mike, I think you ought to get back into politics." Reluctantly, I said, "Okay, fine, I'll go ahead and do it. You know, we'll see if we can do this or not." Reason why is very simply, I feel like our city's doing well, but I think it can do better. I think there's some changes that need to be done to take it to that next step. A lot of people, when they get into politics, they want to just trash the way things are going. I don't think the city has done a terrible job. And I think that our local leadership has done a decent job of that. But I do think, like I said, I do think it can be done better. I'm a small business owner, and everything that I do in business is based off of customer service. That is what I bring to the table. That is my focus, even in government. As a representative, we are supposed to represent our customers, aka the constituents. If we're not doing that, then we're not doing our job. And as I've been out talking to people and knocking on doors, I'm finding out there's a lot of things that they are complaining about. Obviously, our roads, traffic, infrastructure, things like that. There's some big needs that we're going to have to face here shortly. Being that I'm focused on customer service, my goal is to serve them. So that's what we're running for, is just to simply be your voice in City Hall, and hopefully can earn your vote.
Didn't have to give you the signal. Great.
That's right.
All right, and now for your question. Let's see. I'll set them somewhere. There we go. So Columbia is located in one of the fastest growing areas in the state and in the country. With this tremendous growth, it will require new and improved infrastructure, such as recently announced wastewater treatment facility expansion. How do you plan to provide needed infrastructure improvements, including any required funding?
And that is one of the toughest questions and one of the toughest things that I think we're going to be facing as a city. And one of the biggest things that the constituents have talked about. You know, you start driving around here, you notice traffic. One of the big things that I have tried to focus on is our water supply. There's no secret that there is development everywhere. It kind of seems like if we've got a piece of grass, we're developing something on there. So how do you fix that? You know, what is the answer? If I could wave a magic wand and give you the answer that's going to satisfy everybody, I wouldn't be here today. I'd be a millionaire somewhere else. But no, I think what we've got to do is, and in that question, you said, how do we focus on the needs of Columbia? And to me, that's the very first thing we'd have to look at is what are the needs? Not what are the conveniences, not what are the extra stuff that we would like. What are the needs of Columbia? Our needs are going to be our water supply. Our needs are going to be our roads, our schools, things like that. As I mentioned, the city has done a pretty decent job with finances. You know, they're able to give a 5% raise to city employees without raising taxes. Kudos to them for that. I think it's time to refocus reshift our focus there on our customers. What is the constituency? How can we reallocate those out? When you start talking about infrastructure and building, immediately people are saying, are you going to raise taxes? I think before we get to that discussion, we need to go back, look at the budget, look at the grants that we can get, and see, is there something that we can do prior to even talking about raising taxes? Let's reallocate money if we need to. Let's take, instead of worrying about, like I said, the conveniences. Let's worry about the needs. I think if we can focus on that and make sure that we're providing our customers, our constituents, with the service, with the water, with the roads, with the fire and the police department, with the schools, if we can focus on the needs, I believe that together we can work and get those answered.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much, Mike. Now we'll call up the next Ward 1 candidate, Robert Plagement.
All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Robert Plagement, running for City Council, Ward 1. Some of you may recognize my name as I was here just a couple months ago running for school board. And if you haven't guessed it, that didn't necessarily go my way. So I decided to throw my hat for City Council. With that loss, while I didn't win, as they say, one door closes, another one opens. And as difficult as that was, and as much as I really wanted to be a part of the school board, my commitment to this town and my willingness to serve this city, this county, has only grown. Columbia, as we know, is growing and growing fast. And I think tonight, everybody here in the audience, everybody running tonight, we all care about its future. We just have different ways of getting there. Excuse me. So before diving into some issues, I do want to kind of talk about myself for just a minute. So bear with me. I'm a husband, a father, a U.S. Navy veteran, born Nashville, Tennessee. My wife and I moved here almost 3 years ago. And at the time, we had a 1.5-year-old son. Since then, we have given birth to a daughter. So now my son's 4. I have a daughter who's 1.5, and I have a 7-week-old son at home. So if I was going to add maybe an adjective to myself, it'd be tired. Sleep is not bountiful at our house right now. But since being here, we've truly fallen in love with this town. It has so much to offer. The people are amazing. Just a ton of opportunities here that Columbia has to offer. Professionally, my journey began with a degree in architecture from Miami University in Ohio. Shortly after that, I joined the Navy, enlisted, entered as a machinist mate, nuclear submarines. That was my first 6 years. And then I finished my 9 years with a few years of recruiting in Wilson County, just 45 minutes east of Nashville. Finished my Navy career, moved down here, like I said, almost 3 years ago. And since then, I've been a consultant. I've been in data analytics, and I'm currently a project manager at JC Ford. Some of you guys are probably wondering, pick a career path, man, figure it out. But I think my strong foundation and all of my experiences bring a lot to the table and give me some unique experiences that I can bring to the city of Columbia. As your city council representative, a few of the issues that I'd like to address tonight, and I'm sure some of these are on many of your minds as well, is first, infrastructure. I think we only have to look about 30 minutes north of us in Spring Hill and see what happens when you don't plan accordingly and look to the future. If you've driven up there past Walmart, Lowe's, you know how much of a mess that can be. And I look a lot at what we're doing now here in Columbia, and I think we're putting the donkey before the cart, as they say. And we are growing a little too quickly, and we're not taking care of the needs that our city needs, or that our city deserves. I know we've approved some serious homes down Trotwood, but I think if you've driven down Trotwood, that's going to be a mess. We need to be a little smarter on how we're growing, a little bit more strategic, and a little bit more responsible to our community. Secondly, our economic development. Growth has been great here, and I would never want to stop growth here in Columbia. However, we have two different worlds that are kind of developing, one downtown Columbia and one on James Campbell. And you can see the small business growth and stuff that I think all of us want to see more of between downtown and the Arts District. I would love to see that flourish. More businesses populate the Arts District especially. But also, limit, of course, all the corporate stuff that we see on James Campbell. I think there's a good balance that we can have there, but I think Columbia is so amazing in how it's been, thank you, courting small businesses, allowing for people to start small businesses, and we need to protect that and continue to grow that. Otherwise, I think a lot of us would sit here and say budget and finances is also very important. As the city grows, I know, a lot of talk is often about taxes, how we're going to grow smartly, how we're going to pay for everything. And so I do hope to bring some fiscal responsibility and transparency to that as well. So I'll finish this because I think I'm getting the flag here. But so just to kind of wrap it up, I'm committed to Columbia. I'm committed to the growth. My family's been here for a few years, and we have no plans on going anywhere. I hope to see Columbia be the best city in Tennessee, and I hope to be a part of that growth and serve this community. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Robert. And for your question, what does thoughtful and sustainable growth in Columbia look like to you, and how do you plan to make a positive impact towards this?
Yeah, I kind of touched on that just a little bit, but I think when we discuss growth, we get very excited about what that brings to the city in terms of population, businesses, and so much more. But I think what often happens is the city, the population that are already here, get left behind, and the thought, because we see tax dollars or money or something in our future, we forget to take care of what's already here, and we lose sight of what Columbia has been for years, and we don't want to lose that. So I hope to be strategic in certain plans to allow the growth to continue, but do it in a way that benefits our community as well.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Now we'll call up our final candidate for Ward 1, and that's Ms. Davene Hardison. Let you get adjusted. Yeah. All right.
Good afternoon. My name is Davene Hardison, and I am running for City Council Ward 1. I'm proud to be a City Council member during this historic time. The growth that we all see and talk about has come with opportunities that we as city officials have seized. Being on the City Council, we come with a difference of opinions, but we also come united with a vision for a future for the community. We are an efficient government, city manager led, and city council overseen. Our government is nonpartisan, which is why we are so efficient. That is important to me and my other constituents. I look through a prism of what is best for the community, not a partisanship. We do have challenges in our community, and we must ensure that we are growing in the right way, that we have the infrastructure, and that we're doing what's best for the city. Working collaboratively with CPWS to ensure that the least amount of impact has been on the Duck River, which is our natural resource. Investing and increasing funding for street pavement and sidewalk improvements, and steadily working to convince our state legislators to assist with improving state routes that need revamping. We are controlling what we need to control, and I have been a part of that. That's what makes me proud to serve for the community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And now for your question. What do you see as the biggest challenge for Columbia, and how do you plan to address this during your term?
I see that livability connected with growth of the city, the issue of homelessness, and educational improvements are our biggest challenges for the city of Columbia. These are areas that are challenges for our city, but they will not defeat our citizens. I plan to acknowledge that there is a concern in all three areas. But what do I plan to do and be a part of doing as a team? To continue to have the infrastructure in place to support all those wanting to become a Columbian and enjoy what we enjoy. To also offer the support for local businesses and to continue to support improvements, downtown facade improvements, and also streetscape improvements. The issue of homelessness. This issue can be looked at as a joint effort. Not only do the local officials have a place with this, but we can also coincide and collaborate with organizations such as Habitat for Humanity, the Housing Authority, and also with the Housing Authority, as I stated, to get this issue addressed. Educational improvements include first providing a safe atmosphere for our youth, teaching for that teaching environment, and team with the educators and the school board to address the things such as attendance, barriers that our children are seeing, and state prep testing strategies. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Davene. All right, that concludes Ward 1. We will now move into Ward 2. Mr. Charles Huffman was unable to join us this evening, so we will ask Deborah Wiles to come up to the stage.
Got it? Okay. Good evening. First of all, if you can't hear me, please raise your hand, wave, or do something like that. First of all, my name is Debbie Wiles. Though the signs say Deborah Wiles, that's because I signed my legal name when I signed up. I've been grateful for the opportunity to serve on the City Council since 2022 after my husband, Ken Wiles, passed away. I'm thankful to be a part of a growing dynamic community, and I'm committed to helping Columbia thrive as we move into the future. I want to thank Maury Alliance for tonight's forum. I was introduced to Maury Alliance back in 1993, yes, when I attended Leadership Maury. The City of Columbia financially supports Maury Alliance annually, and I will continue to support this partnership. I support their economic development activities. I was here when Saturn landed, and I was here when lots of other things have landed since then. And I dedicate a lot of my time, now that I'm retired from teaching, to attending the monthly coffees, the ribbon cuttings for new businesses, and attending events such as the recently held education luncheon. I have been involved in our community since moving to Columbia in 1972. I served for 37 years in Maury County Schools as a teacher and district administrator. My responsibilities there allowed me to work closely with the Maury County School Board and with the Maury County Commission. I taught graduate education classes for Tennessee State University, Middle Tennessee, Lipscomb and Freed-Hardeman universities, many times using the facilities that are on this campus. I taught graduate education classes. I'm very involved with my church. While serving on City Council, I have seen firsthand how local government works and have helped to make sound, good decisions for our future. Like most cities in Middle Tennessee, we're experiencing much growth. First and foremost, we have to ensure that Columbia remains a great place to live and to make sure that we strategically manage it in a way that benefits our current and our future residents, employers, and visitors alike. We should be proud that Columbia is an efficiently run city with sound fiscal management. Number one, our money is spent wisely. We have an annual budget of approximately $76 million, and it's resulting from a surging economy. And for the first time, our local sales tax is exceeding our property tax. Our departments, and one thing I'm very proud of is our city departments. They're led by capable leaders with personnel who are dedicated to their roles and with service to this city, and they deliver exemplary service in a time of growth. In working collaboratively with the county, I voted to waive $325,000 in city building fees for the new Maury County Justice Center and the county archives. Thank you to Sheila Butt, I see her back there, who arranged tours for us for both of those facilities. The reason I voted for these savings is because as Maury County citizens, we are as City of Columbia citizens, we're also Maury County citizens. I look forward to continue to working with Kevin Markham, county chairperson, who I've known since he was born practically, and county mayor in the future. I look toward increased collaboration. Columbia's charm and our hometown hospitality is absolutely unmatched. We have a wonderful historic district downtown. Yes, that's my ward, or our ward, Ward 2. We want to protect it for future generations. I have loved this community from the time I walked in. I'm thankful to have met my husband of 48 years, to have raised 2 children in this community who are both graduates of Central High School, one of whom is here tonight. And I want to continue serving on the council to help maintain and enhance the qualities that we all love about our city. We have a good team. I ask for your support and I ask for your vote to continue to serve the city of Columbia in Ward 2. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Debbie. So how do you plan to work collaboratively with each municipality in the county to build stronger relationships and ensure the decisions being made are in the best interest of the community as a whole?
Thanks, Will. Some of these questions I kind of alluded to in what I previously said, so this is an easy response for me. I spoke to the fact of us waiving fees for the Justice Center, which I look forward to that ribbon cutting tomorrow. I hope it's okay that I said that. And the reason I voted for these savings, like I said, is because as City of Columbia people, we are also Maury County taxpayers also. I look forward to working together. The City of Columbia financially supports Maury Alliance, and I'll continue to support that partnership. And as the Maury Alliance, they serve Spring Hill, they serve Mount Pleasant, they serve those entities. So we are one in that respect. I was introduced to the work of Maury Alliance, as I said, and its collaboration back in Leadership Maury in 1993. I was also fortunate to conduct an extensive survey for the business community and for the Alliance around the year 1997. I think I was working on a degree. And it was a survey of all businesses and industry people to what would be the essential skills, what would be the vocabulary and technology that they would need. I don't know, it's my last minute and my first minute. To go into the future. And in our recent education banquet, I was happy to see that the updates on the schools included some of those forward-thinking things we found out in the year 97. Am I 1 minute into the last part? I don't know. Okay, good. Let me finish up. I'm sorry. I also served on the Education Business Community Committee back when John Stevens was in charge of Maury Alliance. Mount Pleasant, Bill White was a child when my husband and I grew up and worked in Mount Pleasant. Spring Hill, I also, when I was in the schools, we did a lot of, when the growth from Spring Hill was happening, was when I was doing data work for the schools to do forward planning for how to know how many schools we needed in our county. So I feel like I already have that collaboration. And most importantly, I'll continue to be visible in the community. I love this place. In and around the community, I attend all the local events. I can also be contacted, email, text, social media, a link. And if I don't have your favorite way to contact, just get in touch with me. But collaboration is an easy one with the wonderful people that live in all these cities that we have and all these communities, and how blessed we are tonight that we're here talking about a city that's still together.
Thank you. Now moving into Ward 3, and as I mentioned earlier, Christian Lenars has indicated he is no longer moving forward with his campaign, so we'll have Cheryl Secrest join us on stage. And again, we'll have 5 minutes to overview your campaign, make your pitch, and then we will ask a question in which you have 2 minutes to respond.
Hello, everybody. My name is Cheryl Secrest, and I am running for 3rd Ward City Council. And the reason why I'm running is because I want to be a voice and a presence for the 3rd Ward. The 3rd Ward now includes Riverside area. And I'm hoping and praying to be able to see a lot of people, walk around and talk to them. I was born and raised, a little bit about me. I was born and raised here in Columbia. I made full circle. I started on 12th Street in the College Hill area. I moved from every area of Columbia. Now I'm back on 12th Street beside my childhood home. So I know the area. I've been here all my life. So I got a good, idea of how everything has been from the time I was little up until now. I've seen the good, the bad, and back to the good again in the neighborhood. My question. Can I do the question?
Ready to move on to the question? Sure.
Done.
What does thoughtful and sustainable growth in Columbia look like to you, and how do you plan to make a positive impact towards this?
Okay, sustainable growth to me is when you develop projects and you do things in the city and the county so that it benefits everybody, not just in the city, but also those in the rural areas as well. We have growth here, and we need to make sure that it's going to be beneficial to everybody, not just those in the city, but also in our rural areas. What I would do is work together with the county, the commissioners. You know, we need to come together and work together to make things better so that the residents here can benefit from things, not only the ones that's coming into the city and the county, but the ones that are already here, living here. And that's my thing, is to make sure that the residents in my ward will benefit from everything that the city and the county that they're doing for every other ward. I want to make sure that the third ward is included and that I can be a voice and a presence for them.
Thank you so much, Cheryl.
Okay.
Right. Moving into Ward 4, Kenny Marshall was the only candidate there. He wasn't able to make it tonight, so we will skip into Ward 5, where we have two candidates. Curry Hart was unable to make it this evening, and so we'll ask our final candidate, Brian McKelvy, to join us. It's all yours.
I'm Brian McKelvy. Some people here know who I am. I'm running for City Council of Ward 5. I've been in this town since 1997. I've seen a lot of changes in this town in over almost 30 years I've been here. My whole career has been based on service. As a nurse anesthetist, I serve patients in the most critical and vulnerable times during surgery. I also serve on the board of Maury County Historical Society, the African American Heritage Society in Maury County, and the Crossroads to Home. I served as a county commissioner of District 5 on committees of the budget, building, health and environment, safety, and audit. I was appointed to the Public Records Commission and on the library board. And I want to use these experiences to work hard for the betterment of Columbia.
All right. Thank you so much. And then for your question, what do you see as the biggest challenge for Columbia, and how do you plan to address this during your term?
You know, when I go door knocking and asking people for their consideration, the biggest question I get, or the biggest statement I get, is Columbia's growing too fast. And I tend to agree with that on some respects. As a county commissioner, I was at the city council meetings and the planning commission meetings, and I was fighting against some of this growth. I won some, I lost some, and I want to see more control growth. I would like to see the city and the county have more collaboration together. When I was on the commission, we did some projects together. We did some of that together, and now I think that's kind of gone by the wayside. Face it, what the city does affects the county, and what the county does affects the city, and we need to work together on that. You know, when businesses come here and look to open up business, they look at the whole dynamic of the county. They look at how the city and the county work together. They look and see how the school board and the county work together. They look how the city and other cities work together. And I really think that we need to really have more interaction between the two entities and work hard together for Columbia.
All right. Thank you so much, Brian.
Thank you.
Again, I do want to take a moment to thank our candidates for joining us this evening. We wish you the best of luck as early voting does start here soon. We are very excited to continue to offer opportunities like this to interact with our candidates for local elections. The candidates have been asked to stay around, so if anybody does have questions that may not have been addressed up here, you're more than welcome. I want to thank the audience for attending, and thank you those online, and also thank you to Main Street Maury for broadcasting. A reminder again, we do have our candidate guide that is available through the QR code that is on the card and also on our website. A reminder that early voting does begin here in a couple weeks on October 16th through the 31st. So if you are looking for something to do on Halloween, it looks like you can still go vote in your costumes if you'd like. Again, thank you all for coming. And at this time, we'll ask the candidates to join down front for any one-on-one conversations. Thank you all for joining us this evening.